Welcome, viewers. My name is Moses Waribo, and this is Think Tank TV. Today happens to be the International Day of the Girl Child, and we have joining us to have a discussion on this a community stakeholder who is also the House of Assembly candidate of the All Progressives Congress here in Bonny State Constituency. Before we go ahead, if you're new to our session, try to click the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and do a mail to us. Tell us how we can be of service to you, and we'll be here to serve you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, so today happens to be the International Day for the Girl Child, and we have a beautiful team here. Says, "Our time is now. Our rights, our future." Can you tell us how we can take advantage of this team?
Well, the International Day of the Girl Child is a day that was set aside by the UN, an observance day, like we normally say, meaning it happens yearly to bring focus on the issues that is faced by the girl child, issues that have to do with their different forms of discrimination, and of course to promote their rights as well. And I believe that for this year, the team actually says our time is now, and I'm talking from the perspective of the girls. Every woman today was a girl. My definition of the girl child is a female child. I was a girl child. I'm still a girl child anyway, because we still have the girlish part of the inside. But it's like sowing a seed, and the seed grows on up to the maturity level. So it's critical that if we don't handle the issues that concerns the girl child now, it will have a ripple, a triple ripple effect on the different growth stages. We probably wouldn't have women today if the issues of the girl child is not taken seriously. And actually, the time is now when the whole world seems to be researched with all sorts of challenges, all sorts of discriminations that have to do with violence, gender mutilation, that have to do with trafficking and prostitution and all that. It's a timely theme that behoves on the stakeholders, especially the girl child themselves, to take their destinies in their hand and have a rethink and have a focus or re-strategize on the best ways we can get the best out of the girl child.
All right, that's great. So, how best do you think we can commemorate a day like this?
Well, in the schools, especially the schools and session, I think parents should take critical attention in having an interactive session with their children.
Okay.
Make them understand who they are. Make them understand the power that is within. Explain to them the issues that have to do with sexualism as well. Like I find out that most times with the advocacy jobs that I do through the non-for-profit platforms that I happen to initiate and run, especially on the island and beyond, I have found out from experience that there seems to be a disconnect between parents and their children. And I'm talking about the girl child and the boy child as well, because I think in as much as we pay more attention to the girls, the boys also should be looked at. But let's celebrate the day as it is, a day of observance. The critical stakeholders, of course, the government at the center and the non-for-profit ventures. There's so many non-for-profit ventures, people who have taken interest in the girl child that are raising a lot of awareness. I know there are talk shows with participants being drawn from schools, especially from ages like 13, no, from ages like 8 or 13 to 13 or 15. Remember, when you get to 18, you're now an adult. Yeah. So especially for the minors, there are a lot of stakeholders. I have a friend, mother, she runs a program, mother of whatever, nature or something. She has a program as I speak. Maybe they'll be rounding up, where she has drawn in all political stakeholders, drawing the attention of the need to have special intervention programs for the girl child, drawing the attention to the need to protect the rights of the girl child. So it's a way to celebrate symposiums, workshops, creating the awareness, keeping to the aim. When purpose is not defined, abuse tends to be inevitable. So we must keep to the beats of what it is. It's all about creating awareness of the girls' child rights and then drawing the world attention to discrimination. So there's so many ways. I had I had two young girls who came to my house. One was 18, no, one was 17, the other one 11. And we had the talk just right in front of my house because I had a busy day, trying to put myself together for my projects. And I saw both of them walk past. I called them. It was intentional. And we got talking, and they said they were going down the road to hussle. Down the road is a jetty where we have barges that come in with sand. Okay. And I was a bit curious. I asked, what are you going there for? And they told me they were going to hustle. So what's your definition of hustling? They told me how they lost both parents. One of them said, I know my father, but I can't remember the last time he came to see us.
Wow.
I asked them, what's your surname? They said, Jumbo. Where does your father come from? They said, Akwa Ibom. He's a non-indigent. He lives on Sandfield, you know, the Sandfield area in Bonny. So why is he not acting of you? And both of them just looked at me like, I don't know. We know he's alive. He's moved on with his life. My mom is gone. We live with our grandma. So we're going to fend for ourselves at 11. And I don't know how early this started.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask. And what came to my mind was, what defines your hustle when you get there? I hope you don't allow the men to fiddle with you. And one of them said, no, the senior one said, no, 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 no. We just go there. If there's sand to carry, we carry. Put, help them to pack the sand into vehicles.
Of course, they won't tell you what
Yes,
happens
and they
push comes
said,
to shove.
yes, they said, and then how much do you get? So, but sometimes they give us 500, sometimes 1,000. That's the hustle for a day. At least we can cook food for ourselves and grandma.
Wow.
And I tried to get them in to say, okay, you have a big sister now. Come in. Let's do some house chores together. And while we do that, we talk. And the whole idea was, first of all, to get them to be comfortable with me. I mean, like, I'm a stranger to them. They're also strangers to me. But already I have identified 2 young girls that I can mentor beginning from this day. They promised they were going to come back. They insisted they wanted to hustle. And I told them, I hope they're not playing with your parts to give you money. They said, no, 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 nothing like that, I wanted to talk to them more about sexualism. I wanted to talk to them more about saying something and saying something. I wanted to hear them, apart from the fact that they are being raised by probably a grandmom who is struggling herself to keep alive.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what the real issues are. That would have brought me more to beat with what an average girl child in a rural community
Interpret hustles to be.
And in a rural community, what are the challenges of the girl child? I would think, apart from being generic that they're girl child, there seems to be maybe some little, challenges based on the geographical location. I mean, we're talking about a rural setting. A city girl is a city girl in every ramification of the word. A rural girl is a rural girl who probably haven't seen what an aeroplane looks like, or what a city life is like.
Developed city.
So for me, it's a day to call for more mentorship of the young girls.
Wow.
Take interest in their personal development.
Wow.
Without the young girls, we cannot have the women that we have today.
Yeah, so here's a call for other ladies as well to look out for mentees, right?
Yes.
To also do their best to create that awareness for young people. All right, so you talked about the non-for-profit organization. Can we have a little about how we affected the society before we now go to your elections proper?
Okay. I am the initiator of various community-based organizations, like you call them the CBOs. Well, some people will say we have the non-for-profit, the NGOs, and others will say we have the individual non-governmental, the INGOs or whatever it's called. But CBOs, because we're community-based.
Okay.
This is community for me. Apart from the fact that I come from here as my hometown, I live here, I work here. My first point of call, like they say, charity begins from home. This is a typical me.
So you're obviously a grassroots person.
Yes,
right.
I'm really grassrooted.
Yeah.
So I will start with the one that was born out of passion. Well, everything I do is usually born out of passion. I think my meat is to do the will of my Father, which is to affect humanity. And by His grace, I'm trying my bit, from my little resources that's always demanding for
reach out, right?
Yeah, for reach out and all that. So one of them is a non-for-profit called the Foundation for Widows and the Less Privileged, where I've been able to impact life of the widows, the indigents, and the persons with disabilities, helping them, empowering them socially and economically, to the extent that I had to set up a skill center to teach them in one art or the other, especially in fashion designing.
Wow.
I believe in the power of synergy and collaboration. So those skills that ordinarily I can have the space or the finances to set up. I will marry women, I will marry girls with opportunities. And that's a way of helping you bring your dream to pass or keep your dream alive.
Wow.
So if I have a center that offers vocational training in fashion designing, and you are so passionate to do something in hospitality, confectionery making, baking, catering, I could look out for somebody who has that passion to reach out and then marry you with such opportunities. And for me, I've also helped and impacted.
Wow.
So that's the story for the Foundation for Widows and the Less Privileged, helping the widows have a source of livelihood so that they can become effective breadwinners following the death of their husband. That was the whole idea.
Okay.
Of course, we have the ones that take care of, I have what I call the adolescent program, the Club 1825. It's a club that mentors young adults, males and females, in the act of leadership. I also empower them with the skills that I call the life, and the soft skill training. Those are the trainings that ordinarily you cannot get from the school curriculum, but they're essential for you to survive everyday challenges, things that have to do with your self-esteem. You'll be amazed a lot of young girls and boys who are dealing with low self-esteem.
Exactly.
And they're thinking of suicide. They can't speak up. They
Depression
can't be
and all
heard.
that. Yeah.
Yes, and depression can lead to so many. It can lead to death. Suicidal cases usually start with depression.
And
History and
sometimes
research.
drug abuse as
Yes,
well.
drug abuse as
Yeah.
well. Of course, I'm also in the front of having women politically aware and involved. I still believe that the level of participation of the women is still low. We're grossly underrepresented. And I'm here to encourage more women to come up to the place of leadership, to come up and have active participation in politics. No matter what the odds are, some of them are man-made, some of them are real, but we have to rise up to the occasion, overcome it, and be there so that we can pull up more women. And so I have platforms like the Women to Women Initiative. I have platforms like the Women in Grassroots Leadership. These are political, I would say, partisan platforms that encourage women, build their capacity to be effective community supporters in our little area here.
Oh, remarkable. That would obviously give you an edge, right? Your participation for this election.
I believe so.
All right, so let's look at you are a gender-friendly candidate, as it were, and you obviously should have the interest of the feminine gender, right, in your pursuit for the River State House of Assembly. So can we look at a little of what you will do for young people as it is when you get to the River State House of Assembly, or if you get there?
By God's grace, if elected, like we say.
Yeah.
One of the things I plan to do is something that will be captured under the youth, the program for the youth. I'm passionate about young people thinking about self-invention. Reinventing yourself means developing yourself. I will, by God's grace, set up the first of its kind, the Youth Development Center for the Bonny youth. And these are centers that will offer you life development of life and soft skill training. Some of those trainings will develop you for the workplace. Yes, I still believe in vocational skills, but already we have something like the Bonny Vocational Center. So I will marry those persons who need vocational skill training. We will train them, prepare them to take up those opportunities at the Bonny Vocational Center, while we continue with all of these graduates coming out from school, all of them that are waiting to go out to school. We will keep developing skills. I'm caught out for skills. I will be developing skills of the young persons who are also thinking of being entrepreneurs. Okay. It is time that we diversify our economy. Bonny has been so much dependent on what happens on the train project. Yes, we all say there's a lot to go for all of us, but we all cannot afford to work at the site. We cannot all afford to be at the business places. There will be influx of people into Bonny. The train has started. It is time for our people to think of servicing the needs of all of the influx of people coming.
Beyond the ad hoc jobs.
Yes, beyond the ad hoc jobs, beyond the jobs, the shutdown and the shop. For me, they are not sustainable jobs. Yeah. But we know that people coming in have all sorts of needs. They have need for food. I want to see our brothers and sisters take the lead in the restaurant, the fast food business, and the restaurant businesses. There will be need for accommodation. I want to see our sons and daughters taking the front in the industry, in the hospitality industry. There'll be need for clothing. I want to see our sons and daughters taking the lead in the businesses. Fashion industry, go in tailoring, in creativity. This should be our dream. That all of the money is coming out from this environment will be circulated, will be handled, will be felt by our own people. That's my dream for Bonny. So for the young persons, I will be an advocate. If we talk about a day like this where we are highlighting the various discriminatory practices against the young girl, I'll be in the front of dealing with issues that have to do with gender-based violence. Wow. A lot is going on here. People appear to be going free. We are not bringing them to book. We're not charging them as much as we could. I want to see men who violate our daughters go to jail. It will serve as a deter. It will serve as an example. Yes, as a deterrent. It will serve as a deterrent to every other man young out there who is even thinking in that direction. So our girls should be protected. Right, so I'm going to be a lawmaker, and I'll be proposing bills and promises, policies that will be protective to the young girl and the women, and of course to the young boys as well, because they're also young boys, although they're not much in their number, but they're also young boys who are sexually violated. Everyone must be brought to book. The law is made to be obeyed, and people must be taught how to obey the law.
Wow, remarkable indeed. We are obviously time bound, so I like to call it a wrap with just few words from you, just maybe 1 to 3 words for the girl child out there, right? Before we call it a wrap for today.
Well, for the girl child, I've run an advocacy through Bonny Kingdom. I feel your pain. There's so much going on with the rape cases, and people are going scot-free. Perpetrators are not brought to book. I've spoken about it at different fora. But I want you to be strong. And like I tell you, ladies, young girls, whenever I visit your school, I always say to you, whenever you see something, you must say something. Keep saying it. Contact me. There's a local government council. There's a local government authority. Luckily, we have a woman who is at the helm of affairs. Feel free to go to our office and make those reports. We're here to protect you as your big sisters. We're here to ensure that your rights are not being trampled on. And be decent. Some of the things that young girls face is also because of their lifestyles. Young girls learn to dress properly. Your private part should be properly covered. Mind the kind of relationship that you keep. We hear of young girls that are being beheaded. Some are taken to hotel rooms. We hear of young girls who make friendship on the social media. A young man you've never met before, and you're already in bed with him. You've left your city to another city, completely to a stranger, a Facebook, a social media stranger. Hey, we love you girls. We want you to be alive for yourself and your family. Be good, be decent, be polite. Make sure each time you see something, you say something. Most of all, keep in touch with your source. Be God-fearing. Say your prayers and be good. I'm here. I'm your big sister. I'm here to support you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us over here. My name again is Moses Variable. This is Think Tank TV. Try to subscribe. You want to get contents that are educative and informative to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.
Thank you.